Oh, yeah, it's you. It's Friday, and that means fan mail. Mike! Hate you. Fan mail and Q&A. There's going to be a lot of fan mail, because I think I have more packages today than I've ever gotten before, because you guys are awesome. I have 8 packages, plus letters and envelopes and cool stuff, and I can't wait. But fan mail first, because that's how it works. Actually, first, some channel updates. I have finally caved to peer pressure, or rather admitted the unassailable logic of it all, and I am creating a separate LEGO channel. Because I want to post more LEGO videos, but I don't want to be posting like 9 of them and 1 Nerf video, because most of you came here for the Nerf, and I feel that's a perfectly fair complaint. So I will be transferring all of my LEGO stuff over to a new channel. It'll take me a while to re-upload all the videos, because apparently there's no way to just transfer them easily. I tried looking it up, I googled it, I looked up YouTube videos, apparently there's no way to just click and say move to other channel. So I'm just going to re-upload them all over there, which unfortunately means all of the comments and all of the views and all of that will get lost, but such is life. My LEGO videos don't get a lot of views anyway. But for those of you who are really interested and really like my LEGO stuff, that's where that will be going on. I kind of have what I'm going to refer to as a sponsor. It's not really what's going on. A local LEGO store buys up big collections, but they have to be processed, and they need to, you know, go through the stuff that they get and make sure that they can assemble whole kits and so forth. And I'm going to be doing that for them, which is cool because it means I get to build sets that I would never otherwise build, which is going to be fantastic. So there'll be lots of buy the book coming up in the future. They're paying me in LEGO, which is fantastic. It's a dream job, really, and I'm going to be doing it in my free time. But I will still be doing plenty of Nerf stuff, fear not. I am getting close on some amazing builds. One build that I am fairly confident will be on the top of most people's best blasters of 2017. At least I really hope it comes out that well. But I'm waiting on a couple of parts. So, I hopefully will have some other Nerf videos coming out soon, because I haven't had any really good ones in a while. I think my Super Scope was the last really good one that I came out with, other than Fan Mail and K26. Gonna be a good season for K26, I hope. But I'm also starting a new Nerf series, which I think some of you will appreciate. I'm gonna be doing it on Mondays, and it's going to be mod tips. Generally, it's going to be short videos of very simple things, like how to properly cut a spring, and how to figure out what the length should be, how to solder motors in a flywheel cage, how to brass a barrel, paint priming, that sort of thing. Real simple little guides that are all mostly going to be fan requested. So keep that in mind if there are any little tips that you guys would like to see made into videos. Once I post the first one on Monday, you can comment requests for future videos on those. And I will be doing as many fan suggestions as I can, just because you guys have asked, and I think it's a good idea. So I will be doing that in addition to my other stuff. So look forward to that. The LEGO channel is just Captain Xavier's LEGO channel. So if you're interested, go subscribe to that, and hopefully it will be at least mildly successful. Okay, Q&A. 321 Nerf. Hello, Cap. It is I. And today I was wondering, if you were to have an all-vortex loadout, what would it consist of? I actually ran an all-vortex loadout in the last war, and I ran a Pyragon with a 40-round drum and a pair of fuse fires. I was planning to run my Ravonics, but when I went to grab it to use it in the next round, somebody had stolen it. So that's annoying, but that's what I ran, because, and I really wanted to do the Ravonics, because like the fuse fire, you can top off the magazine as you go, which is just a fantastic feature. So I had a huge dump pouch of Vortex, and I was just going to keep topping it off and firing it as I went, but then discovering that my Ravonics had been stolen kind of ruined the event for me. So yeah, don't steal people's stuff. And if you are the one who stole it, give it back. Alex Price. Favorite Star Wars vehicle? Land vehicle, it's gonna have to be the AT-AT, because Empire Strikes Back is magnificent, and I love it. For fighters, the TIE Defender, no question. And for capital ships, probably the Eclipse, though it didn't fare well. I'm a fan of the classic Imperial Star Destroyer, though the Super Star Destroyers are also pretty groovy. Stone Axe 23 Gaming. Dear Captain Xavier, will you eventually do a video on your computer, or is it not worthwhile for you? I kind of covered my computer in the Meet the Geek video, where I kind of showed it off. The computer itself, the box itself, isn't probably what most hardcore gamers would call impressive. It's a refurbished Precision, with a diagnostic radiology video card shoved in it. But it's not really, it's not even remotely top-end nowadays, because I built it a couple of years ago and I haven't bothered to upgrade it because the only game that I really play is Elite Dangerous, and my setup runs it without a problem. Now, if I wanted to try running, you know, modern first-person shooters, I'd probably need a new video card and probably a little bit more RAM, but I can't play those because they make me motion sick, so I haven't bothered. But the whole controller setup, I think I already covered. I can go into it in more detail if you really want, but that also doesn't really fit into either this channel or my LEGO channel, so, yeah. Orc at War 98. Have you watched the show Deadliest Warrior? I think I've seen clips of it on YouTube, but I've never watched a full episode. I never had TV, so, man, and I don't remember what I thought of it. Probably didn't think much of it, but, Bipedal Narwhal. Did you make that helmet yourself? No, that helmet was bought, and quite frankly, I think I was slightly swindled, as I do not believe the metal is as thick as advertised, as the dents would suggest. I do want to get a new one someday, a fancier one, but I haven't gotten around to it. Wyatt Baker, can you do a simple Strife mod? Yes. Sleeping Panzer. Captain Xavier, have you ever thought of doing a Star Wars theme blaster or Firefly theme one? I do plan to eventually modify the Rebel electronic blaster that is also the Imperial officer blaster. I want to make it, you know, cosplay quality modded, and eventually get an Imperial officer uniform. Though apparently the 501st doesn't allow you to use Nerf blasters for your weapon, which is a bummer, but I'd still like to do it. And for Firefly, I would love to find a good blaster that genuinely looked like Mal's pistol. Or, I think I've seen a Stampede made to look like Vera. I think it was a Stampede. Might have been a Rapid Strike. People have probably done both. That would be pretty cool, too. Waffle Iron. I want waffles tomorrow. What are your tips for making a Vulcan into a beast? I would do what my friend Lance Alderson did and put in afterburners. It turns out it's actually very easy to mount. I don't know what flywheel cage he used, but it's fairly easy to mount one just in the front of the gun. And then the original firing mechanism just fires the darts into the flywheels. You then overvolt the gun, so you get a higher rate of fire, which you can actually overvolt the Vulcan really, really high. I've heard of people going as high as 32 volts, so I don't recommend that. But at least, you know, 12 to 18 volts on a LiPo, and it'll get a really high rate of fire, and the afterburners will put them out beautifully. He's got two versions of it now, and they are both magnificent, and I really want to do one eventually. Creed King 18, what is the craziest Nerf mod you have seen in another's channel or on the battlefield? I've seen some neat ones. The aforementioned afterburner Vulcan was pretty crazy. I've seen someone else who, I think he had a ultimate blast bazooka mounted onto a Raven, I think is what he did, with both a shield and a bayonet. It was pretty epic. I don't know if it has a name. I should probably ask. Also, Assassin's Creed, like or dislike? I'm completely indifferent. I've never watched it, never played it, I know nothing about it. The guy wears a hood, has a knife in his sleeve. That's all I know. Deadpool the Nutjob. Captain, what do you think if Nerf made a Reven Mega? I assume you mean a Mega Raven. A bullpupped semi-automatic flywheel Mega Blaster would be magnificent, and Nerf should do it. Christian TD85, What started making you like things being modular, and did you mod anything before Ire, or was she your first mod? I just have always loved modularity. I've always liked having things that had attachments. Especially in Nerf, the whole N-Strike line, having all the attachments, I thought that was always a magnificent idea. And then I've just taken it to the absurd maximum. And Ire was technically my first. I did some paint jobs for my whole loadout. I had a Spectre and a Barricade and my Stampede that became Ire, and a Barrel Break. And I painted them all black and orange and made holsters for them all. But the first one I did internal mods to was Ire. Fire! Missed! Where's my drink? Dad's cream soda. Delicious. Sean Sanderson. Hey, I want to know your thoughts on the new Star Wars expansions at Disney. In particular, the new Reputation system and the Resort. I know absolutely nothing about it, but it sounds fantastic. I've heard, like, vague rumors that they were making a Star Wars world at Disney World and that they were expanding it, and I think that's magnificent, and I'd love to go as an Imperial officer someday. But I don't know anything about it. Lucas Mongold. Captain Xavier, can you make a pistol lightsaber? Lightsaber. Is there a way to store light? I assume you mean lightsaber. And I assume you mean a lightsaber that has a pistol built into it, like in Rebels. Yes, I could. But I probably won't. Mr. R3Z. Hello, Captain. So I know that you made a bunch of modular stocks, but have you done a deploy stock? No, I have not. Not yet. I have a couple of deploys that have been gutted. I know I want to build a long shot with a deploy stock, and I suppose I could make a removable modular deploy stock, but I haven't yet. And what spring load would be safe for a Rotofury? Rotofury can take K26, so it can take a pretty beefy spring load. But I don't know, like, the exact kilogram rating. Voidwalker. Captain, what is your favorite blaster in Star Wars? Probably, oddly enough, the E11, the Stormtrooper rifle. It's definitely my favorite in Star Wars Battlefront, because once you get, or Battlefront 2, once you get the achievement permanently unlocked, it's a 3-round burst and will pretty much kill anybody in one shot, which is awesome, because the Rebel scum have it coming. Bipedal Narwhal again. What are your thoughts on using a Chucket to throw sock bombs at zombies? I don't know that it would work. I've never tried it. I don't have a Chucket. If you could learn to do it accurately, it might work, but honestly, you're probably better off just throwing them by hand. The socks aren't going to have a particularly good range because they don't have the mass, so it's probably just going to be awkward to load and hard to aim, but if you can get good at it, go for it. Horatio Rugteasy. Can you tell us a little story of the HVZ college years? I am actually planning to do story time with Captain Xavier, but it's going to be over on my LEGO channel, because I plan to animate it with minifigures. Not like stop action, because, God, that would take way too long. But just build the scene kind of with LEGO and then use the minifigs, wander them around. Oh, let's see, what's a good one for now? In one of the first HVZs I was ever in, we were playing NPCs, the Black Knights, and we were escorting a large group of humans, and the zombies had gotten tired of our escorts making it so that they could never tag the humans, so they decided to rally as many zombies as they could and ambush us. And they did not pick their ground well. We saw the ambush from a distance because we were intelligent and looked where we were going, and so I sent 2 of my men through one of the buildings, and they came out behind the zombies, and as soon as they were in place, we charged the zombies and ended up ambushing the zombies, pinning them in an open field and just mowing them down, and the humans went along their way. So that was fun. King Kyle's 117. Hey, Captain, I was wondering which Star Wars TV show do you prefer more in terms of art style and the way both the shows handle combat, Clone Wars or Rebels? I have yet to watch Rebels, so I can't say. I love Clone Wars, but that's because I'm largely an Imperial sympathizer. I suspect I won't like Rebels quite as much, but I need to watch it just to round out my nerdery. 4GE Bow. Can you share your local Nerf War standard rules? The group that I typically play with is the Olympia Foam Society, and they're on Facebook, and I think their rules are almost certainly posted there. They're fairly straightforward. For basic rules, a hit anywhere counts, and it's single hit kill. Shields are allowed within reason. If it's a large homemade type shield, then you're limited to what weapons you can use. You can't use, pretty much all you can use are pistols. And nothing that takes a magazine or that is electronic. And that is to keep the shields from becoming horrifically broken, because even with that limitation, shields are pretty powerful. The only thing that can take out shields are rockets. And rockets are generally Demolisher rockets, Titan rockets, anything that looks like a rocket. Anything that was fired by a bow doesn't count. So big bad bow arrows are not rockets. And anything that fires the new Nerf arrows, those are not rockets. And they destroy not only the shield, they also kill the person carrying it, and the shield is destroyed for the rest of the round. So it doesn't respawn with you. It's out for the rest of that particular round. Which I think is a very good rule, and I'm very fond of it. They generally do respawn. We don't usually do single elimination rounds, because then the poor schmuck who gets shot 30 seconds in has to sit out the rest of the game watching everybody have fun, and that's not cool. So we typically do games that have infinite resurrection. There's a spawn point that you go to, and you spawn. And it's typically 30 seconds from the time you get hit. So you get tagged, and you start walking towards your spawn point, and you start counting from the time you get hit. So by the time you get to the spawn point, you've probably reached 30, and you're right back in again. And that makes the game more fun. And then their games always have a victory condition. Capture the flag, or Titan Ball, or they've got a number of different game types where there's something you're trying to achieve. And once it's achieved, then you're all back in. The game is over, and you start over. So that way nobody's ever eliminated. We do a couple where, like right before lunch, we'll do a single elimination, so that once you get eliminated, you go have lunch, and so you're not out missing anything. But I think those are most of the rules. Any shield that has Nerf on it, that's an official Nerf shield, so the Stonewall shield, or the Titan, or the Stampede shield, or any of the other shields that came with blasters, those you can mount to anything or use with whatever weapon you want, because they're all fairly small and are officially Nerf. They're also blown up by rockets, though, so. Sebastian Hernandez, can you please show us your full knight suit and weapons? Assuming you have weapons. I do have weapons. I don't think I have many of them here with me, though. They're all in storage with the rest of my army's equipment back in Idaho. But I do have my suit of armor, and I can show it off at some point. Once again, doesn't really fit into either of these channels. I may have to start a whole new Captain Xavier's Medieval channel someday to do all my HEMA stuff and pirate stuff and my armoring and all of that. Just to, once again, keep things nicely separated. And if I do that, I'd appreciate it if you all subscribe, if you're into that sort of thing. EP Leprechaun. When building with Lego, are you more concerned with the shape of the brick or the color? Both? I mean, if I'm building my castle, obviously I want it to all be gray, and the parts need to fit what I'm building, but I'm not concerned about, like, if you mean by shape of condition, I generally try to use decently well-conditioned Legos. If they're all horribly chewed up and mangled, I probably won't use them. I'm not at all worried about fading in the color, especially not in the castle, because it actually adds more definition to have the slightly different colors of gray, the old grays that are getting slightly yellow, the really new gray, the lightish blue gray. There's like three or four different colors of light gray now, and at least 2 shades of dark gray. And at first it bothered me that they didn't match, and now I realize that it actually makes the build look so much better. And finally, RZ Rider. Question for Q&A. So, I have been thinking of overhauling a triple shot for a while, but I had an idea that kind of made me inspired. Could you make a triple shot that still rotates and has 4 3/4 inch PVC male thread on every space that would normally rotate? Basically, it'd be 4 3/4 inch PVC thread so that you can use different attachments without having to screw and unscrew if you think it would be plausible. Could you please give me at least a little advice on how to achieve this feat? I think this is a fantastic idea. It's a modular shotgun. It'd be a matter of really modifying the cylinder head. I don't know exactly how it's designed. I'd have to open one up and take a look, but it shouldn't be that difficult to cut it all down so that you can just glue the thread adapters directly to it. It would rotate on pump, which I don't know. I'm going to go find out. Alright, so taking a look at it, should be fairly easy to simply cut off the barrels and just have the point that connects to the rest of the gun, and screw the bushing, or glue the bushings onto that. And then the blaster, after you've primed it, you can pump it again to rotate it again. So you could rotate it to whatever barrel you want it. I think that is absolutely a magnificent idea. I know they can take a fairly heavy spring load, but you have to reinforce a lot of things, and there are some gaps and all of that, and the seal's not great. But you could definitely use like single shot barrels or triple shot barrels, or I doubt you could fire a rocket off of that thing. You might be able to, but I would be dubious. But I think that is a fantastic idea. Go for it. Let me know how it turns out. Alright then, on to this mountain of magnificent packages. Alright, so as I said, 8 packages plus letters. And as usual, I will start with the letters. Transmission for Xavier of Mandalorian Clan Xavier. I like that. Dear Mandalore Xavier, hello. Boss. Dear Mandalore Xavier, hello. It is I, Shadow Night Raven. I was at a Nerf war the other day, and I had a thought. Stefan darts, or as you call them, half-nipple darts, are accurate and travel far. So my thought was, what if you took that IRE bolt action attachment and made a sniper rifle? Said attachment was in IRE Attachments Addendum 3. I don't know how it could take a K26, but you are the mod king. I actually have fired Stefan's out of IRE's brass breech, and it's absolutely terrifying how far and straight it fires, which is why I don't use it at Nerf wars, because it's dangerous. If I were to actually build that modular triple shot that was mentioned earlier on in the Q&A, it might be able to fire that. But generally, a brass breech that long is going to need compressed air. And a Springer just isn't going to cut it, usually. Now, a long shot, obviously, is the exception to that because it has such a huge plunger tube. But not a lot of other blasters have such a big plunger tube, and I don't know how well it would work to try to make a long shot take any of IRE's attachments. It'd be easier to just brass breech a long shot. But I do have plans for another blaster that I started building, and one of these days I'll finish. That is also going to be able to take any of IRE's attachment, and it would be an excellent option for that. Possibly even more dangerous than IRE's Titan, though. We'll have to see. Now, an idea a friend of mine had was to take that floor mat that interconnects and make homemade grenades. It's cheap at Lowe's. It comes in different colors. Your thoughts? That would probably work. It's a good dense foam, which is good for throwing. I actually just went online and found some grenade-shaped stress balls that actually work really, really well. Also, as a fellow Saber fan, I would like to know when you're going to make your Star Wars builds. You have been saying you need to, so can you? Also, you said you're a Mandalorian fanboy. I have a Mandalorian clan name for you, Clan Xavier, in the honor of the great Chelo Xavier. I like it. Now, another idea I had was something you could pass onto your Nerf friends. If you ever saw Naruto, I haven't, anime, why not make throwing kunai or shuriken? If you made them out of 5 layers of 1-inch craft foam. On next page. On the included sheet, I have sketched a few projectile foam ideas. If you do decide to make them, please do a build video on them. I think that it would be epic. I note that my drawing abilities suck. On the last of the idea, ever seen a Klingon bat'leth? A good melee weapon that can be held one-handed could prove useful. Actually, given how wide those blades are, it wouldn't make a bad shield either. Alright, he's got a bunch of random stuff. Arm-mounted slingshot. A modified Nerf Vulcan that can be a Gatling gun. I think I've seen somebody do that, actually. That would be pretty cool. A 3D printed Klingon disruptor pistol for emergies. A motion sensor Nerf claymore filled with boomco darts. I actually have this already. A friend of mine printed me out a motion sensing trigger that can be used to fire any of my Nerf mines that plug into ire. So yeah, that's actually a thing. I just haven't ever used it anywhere. A Captain America shield with the Captain Xavier logo. That seems a bit ostentatious, but I like it. A wrist-mounted single-shot barrel. Yeah, I actually have one of these. For my left arm, I've just got a tiny blaster that shoots tiny rockets, which is pretty cool. If any of these ideas are useful to the great Captain Xavier, give me a shout-out. Shadow Altair Night Raven. And he's given me a bunch of nifty ideas. The danger with these, unfortunately, is even with foam, they're kind of pointy. You could obviously make them much more rounded to make them a little bit more safe. And the issue throwing them is going to be mass. The local group, though, does allow thrown weapons as long as they don't have any kind of a core. So these ones would probably work fairly well. These are not going to be well balanced, made out of foam. But these two would probably actually work fairly well if you rounded them off enough to be safe. So I like that idea, actually. I might have to look into that. Very, very cool, sir. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Next letter. Thank you for my long strike. I really like the X line, and thank you for the X marks. My name is John. Thank you for the dart with the writing, and I like going to Nerf Wars. Well, you are welcome. That was actually a really fun little build, and it was kind of the first X-Strike thing I did, and it came out lovely. So, yeah, you are welcome. I hope it serves you well for many years, and I hope someday you get the opportunity to mod it to make it even better. All right, I'm going to go with this one. From my Wolfpack to yours. Wolfpack. 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 A dart, because it is customary. Oh, man. That is a lot of Wolfpack. These guys are old Lego. This goes back to my childhood. This is from the late 80s, early 90s line. The flags are the most amazing part. Those are really hard to find, and their guys are in such good condition. Thank you so much. I need to expand my Wolfpack part of my castle, and now I have a really good reason to. So thank you so much for this. I need to get more wargs. I only have the one warg so far, and I feel that the pack should have at least 3. Legos. All right. Dear Mandalore Xavier, hello. Included on a separate sheet of paper is something I drew. Hopefully you can use it as your channel logo. That is, what is it, you ask? It is a Mandalorian helmet with 2 Dooku lightsabers in X formation. On the forehead is your logo, the modified zombie strike symbol. The visor has 4 slash marks to show battle scars. Color-wise, the visor is orange, as is the symbol on the forehead. The lightsaber blades are orange, too. The rest of the color scheme is up to you, Shadow Night Raven. Ooh, that is really cool looking. Clan Xavier. If it's not modular, it's not worth doing. Yes. Mandalorian. Truth, Honor, Vision. Xavier Enterprises. That is really cool. Do I still have a scanner? I may have to acquire a scanner just so I can scan this in and then color it in so that I could in fact use it for my channel. That is really cool looking. Thank you for that. This is the stuff. This is the stuff I love. Packages. Let's start with the little one. Open here. Greetings, Captain. 'Tis I, Jake, also known as Pignus Man 7, the Great Builder. I have brought you more gifts. These are a reminder of your debt to me, the Blaster. Now, give me a bit of a spoiler. Inside is Black Paladin Chelo riding a dragon. He has brick-armed swords. Also included is my sacrifice to the great weapon of yours. It's another Maverick cylinder. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, Stormtroopers! Greatest regards, Jake. P.S. Not actually signed in blood. It's a red pen. Oh, I was hoping it was signed in blood. Well, let's see what we have here. We have more darts. One Maverick cylinder. Oh, sweet buttery goodness. A Lego version of me, beard and all, with brick arm swords. Those are sweet. Riding a black dragon, because why not? More darts, and oh, good lord. I had one of each of these as a child, and they were one of my favorite toys ever. I had the big Millennium Falcon, and I had the Tidarium Shuttle, and I had the Lambda class shuttle, and I had a bunch of these minifigs, but these two were always my favorite. And so this, and I don't know what happened to them. So this, in addition to the ones that I've already been given, this is cool. These, for those of you who aren't aware, this is the original Kenner, I believe, from way back when. Hong Kong. Yeah, these are the original Star Wars Kenner action figures from like the 70s and early 80s. So this is very much part of my childhood. And I wish I had the rest of one, or I knew where they ended up. I may still have them somewhere. That is super cool. Yes. Ping me with an email and remind me about the blaster, because I've started putting together schedules and to-do lists, but I know there's stuff that I'm still missing. So do feel free to remind me. Do not feel bad about harassing me if I haven't gotten to something that I promised I would, because I should, and I feel bad. Alright, next! Let's go with this one. Legos! Good day, sir. Hope you are well. We continue to enjoy your videos, and the Lego segments are wonderful. I had those sets as well, and bought so many of the small sets to build the armies of pirates, then made a big boat out of popsicle sticks. Ah, memories. I do know you are very busy, and the amount of information being thrown at you in many different media is enormous. Thank you for continuing to be awesome and encouraging all the people who ask questions and send items in. Your content is a wonderful resource for the Nerf community. Thank you for having content that I am comfortable having my 12-year-old watch without having to worry about what you're going to say. Even makes him ask about some of the cool and obscure references that you have made. Thank you so much as always. Thank you again for reading. Ryan and family. You, sir! As I opened this box, I suspected it was you. And I swear, I will eventually send you awesome stuff to thank you for all of this. It is, in fact, very high on the to-do list, which I am finally going to be getting to. Ooh, whoop. Open, separate, off camera, probably. Oh, sweet, 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 sweet. He sent me a reminder, so I have the names and the email. Legos! More Lego candy things. Wait, there was more. P.S. The Little Mermaid set is like a deploy. I got it for the parts, dolphin, interior parts, mirror, etc. The parts may be worth more than the whole. So, use as you will. Little Mermaid. Okay, that is, in fact, cool. Ooh, gold wagon wheels. That's worth it right there. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in here I can use in, like, the apothecary shop, in the magic shop. The windows are useful to me. The mirror, yeah. I'm so building this in my next, by the book, because, yes. That is awesome. More candy cigarettes. All right then. My favorite part, minifigs, because this man always sends the best. All right. Who could it be? It could be the dwarf. It could be the elven princess. It is! I was in a Lego store this last weekend, and me and my friend went through the entire bin of minifigure bags looking for this very figure, and we couldn't find it, and here it is. You, sir, are amazing. It is an elven warrior princess, and it is magnificent. Alright, what can we have here? We could have this forestman, we could have another pirate. We can have a devil. The Ice Queen would be cool. And we got... the Ice Queen! Sweet. Okay, those are parts I've never seen before. The parts that the blades go into so that they can be made to fire forward. I had never seen those. That is really cool. That is awesome. There are so few female Lego minifigures in my collection because my collection is really mostly old and they didn't really seem to understand that, yes, girls like Legos. Make female Lego characters and they will love it. So these will make a great addition. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. Ooh, I will find a place for her in my setup. All right. Let's see what we have here. We got... oh, it's the Wolfpack Ranger. Which I have several of these now, and I can simply not get enough of them. Originally, I was, of course, planning to use them as forestmen, because they've got the bow and they've got the green. But then I took a good close look and realized that the emblem on his chest is a Wolfpack wolf. So these are, in fact, Wolfpack Rangers, as it were. And the fact that they brought back that Wolfpack symbol is another one of the things that I love about Lego, that they do bring back the nostalgia for us older collectors, and they understand that we exist and appreciate those tiny little touches. So that is awesome. All right. And last but not least, another Battle Dwarf! Sweet! I am working on putting together an entire army of dwarves. Originally, my castle build was 2 feet longer, and there was going to be an entire mountain of dwarves. But that had to get scrapped, so instead, the dwarves are going to be under the castle, in the big cavern, undermining it. And it will eventually be revealed that there are dwarves under there, and they will either come to the aid of the castle when it's being sieged, or they will fight against it. Who knows? But it is, in fact, a Mohawked Battle Dwarf, which is another thing that is awesome, because the dwarves in Warhammer had these. They were Berserker dwarves that had these mohawks, and then Lego came out with them, and then in Lord of the Rings, they had the Berserker dwarves with the mohawks, which is just a mixing of fandoms that is just magnificent, from Warhammer to Lord of the Rings into Lego, and back and forth, and I geek out about this kind of stuff, as you may have noticed. All right. Yes, I'm going to save this to build in a by-the-book video, because I do those now. But that is awesome, these are awesome, yous are awesome, and you are going to be getting awesome stuff soon, I swear. Alright. I love my fans. Okay, let's take a look at... this one is from China. And I don't recall ordering anything from China. And if I had, it wouldn't have gone to my P.O. box anyway. How do I get into it? Have knife, can cut. Ooh. Now I have heard about this thing. Oh, good lord, it actually fires them? Okay, well this thing is pretty much the coolest thing I think I've ever seen. It is, as you can tell, a C96 broom-handled Mauser. Very accurate in both size and general design. It's got the hammer, it's even got the flip-up sights, the adjustable flip-up sights. It primes like it should, it takes magazines, and it actually fires the whole pellet. Doesn't fire it very well, in fact it fires it horrifically, but I hear you can also just fire Nerf darts, which wouldn't it be handy if somebody had given me a bunch. Oh look! Sure enough, it is in fact exactly 50 caliber. Doesn't fire it very well, obviously. Oh, right, because I still had cartridges in it. Maybe not. I may be missing something. It doesn't seem to want to fire Nerf darts, but we can probably fix that. This is magnificent cosplay level details. It's got... I'm not sure what this selector switch is for, but it's got a selector switch. It's got the hammer. It primes correctly. It takes cartridges that it fires. This is fantastic. The only downside is the whole made in China thing, but you could sand off the logo well enough and paint over it. That is beautiful. Thank you so very, very much for that. I don't know if they'd let me run this in a war, and I don't know if I'd want to, but I really, really want to. That is so cool. Thank you. I say again, I have the coolest fans. All right, let's take a look at this one, which is apparently from Wisconsin, or at least from Packer country. My father is from Chicago. That's not Wisconsin. Never mind. All right. Oh, look, a letter. Contact info. Ah, very good. See? He covered it up. Fantastic. For Fan Mail Friday, Dear Captain X, starting with the facts. You are awesome. Ire is godlike. Her shoulder cannon could use a name. Oh. Yes, it could, and I have a few thoughts. And I could use your help. Enclosed here is the core to my new Vector Strife. It has been tricked out with a pair of Hellcat 180 motors bolted into Canted Artifact flywheel cage and running off a 1 amp 3S LiPo. I wired and installed most of the parts myself, but installing the actual flywheels has proven tough. Could you please use some Loctite to install them into the motor shafts for me? The original screws have been stripped to the point of no return, so Out of Darts has offered to provide some replacements the next time he sees you. The other blaster in the box is a disassembled Slingfire Long Strike. In this box, you know how to pack! With a failed integration of a deploy barrel mount. The blaster was named The Medicine, a Russian 1895 infantry from Battlefield 1. Once earned through combat, but it too needs some finishing touches from an expert. I know that you typically integrate before the painting, but my first solution failed miserably. Since you have a great engineer mind, could you please make a stupid-proof integrated barrel mount while still maintaining the functioning dart tooth? You are, however, the king of making things modular. At the next mod party, could you please get the big names of the Northwestern Nerf tube signed by Strife? I included a fine tip Sharpie in the barrel. Would love to have your signature on the white stripe. Will you describe a situation in which you thrifted a regulator? Thanks from a huge fan, Brown Davies. Absolutely. I would love to take a look at this and repair it. I believe we discussed it previously. I can take a look at the integration as well. The next mod party we're aiming for next weekend. And I think I've got a whole bunch of things that people want signed, so hopefully all the big names will be there. I don't think Out of Darts will be. I think he's on vacation. But Walcom should be there, Barrett should be there, the curator will be there, I'll be there. And I'm hoping to see Out of Darts sometimes after that. We're working on a build together, so I might be able to get him to sign it then and get the screws and so forth. So, yeah, definitely willing to sign it. And as far as thrifting the regulator, it wasn't truly thrifted. I didn't find it in Goodwill. It was in a consignment shop north of Seattle. And I'm not entirely sure how they got it. But that's where I found it. I contacted them. They said it was still there. I showed up the next day, and I picked it up. So, that's how I got it. Unfortunately, I lost the stock. It was attached to the Ravonics that was stolen at the war. Now you know why I'm so annoyed. Anyway. Yeah. Let's take a look at what is in here. Because this pack job is amazing. Packers. I crack myself up. Alright. So there's the cash, which is always important. the fly wheels that need to be attached. I'm actually working on so the whole, what the? Your motor cage is Legos duct taped onto the side? John would approve. It's not full auto though, so that's interesting. Yeah, that needs some polish. We're gonna get you a cover. I could probably get... I've got a friend who prints me stuff. I'll have him print me a flywheel cover for you. Unless you're really attached to the Legos duct taped on the side. Ooh. That's actually a really nice paint job. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that was a really nice paint job. And you want, okay. You want this to be able to attach onto the barrel mount. Okay, yeah, that is almost certainly doable. I will add it to the list. I'll probably work on it at the mod party, so you get to see me do it on the live stream if we do a live stream. So, okay, yeah. I will get my printer man to print you a door if you don't mind. And in exchange, I might keep the Legos because I need one of those big gray plates. If you want the Legos back, of course, I'll send them back. But otherwise, okay. So we will add that to the ever-increasing list of builds. If you're wondering why I'm not taking commissions, it's because I still have so many that I haven't finished. So, no, I'm not currently taking commissions. These are previously agreed upon ones. Alright, what is next? We're gonna go with this one for reasons. Dear Captain, my name is Brody, or as I am known on YouTube, Striker800. I was your 17th subscriber and I love your videos. This package may be small, but within it are many things included. Your favorite cylinder, the Tech 3 cylinder, yes. A front attachment point, 3 triple shot shells, nice. Strife flywheels, Legos, and a bracelet in your colors, sweet. An air pump, a strong arm shell, a Predator bolt, 2 Legend Fire cylinders. You said in a K26 episode 24 that you didn't have one of the new Air Warrior Jaguars, so I sent you one, along with 2 Wizards, a strong arm cylinder, a Legend Fire pump grip. All I ask in return is a Strike Fire, orange, blue, or green, please, a Reflex IX-1, some Boomco darts, as I have 3 fire shots and a plasma pistol and 3 darts, and last, a Halo M6 pistol. Strike Fire, do I have any? I think I still have a Strike Fire. I ended up giving a bunch of them to a friend to give away as party favors, but I should still have at least one, and if not, they come up at thrift often enough, I will try to find one. I do have the Reflex. I've got all the versions, actually. And I do have Boomco darts that I will probably never use. And Halo M6 pistol. I only have the one. I think they're still available at Target or at Toys R Us. I'll have to check. But the rest I can definitely do. Let's take a look at this pile of MacGuff. We have the remains of a strong arm with its cylinder with darts. Zombie strike darts. Can never get enough zombie strike darts. We have a barrel attachment from a Strife. Very nice. Oh, one of the little air pump rockets. Prompt tanks. Okay, okay. Legend Fire cylinder number 1. The new Jaguar. Yep, I only have the older ones. Ooh, that sounds much beefier. Nice. The remains of a... Wasn't this the Strike Fire? Wait. Wrong letter. Interesting. Part of the Strike Fire. Wizard! Lego. In my colors, even. A bolt. Nice. I'm gonna need one of these bolts for a build I'm doing. The pump grip off a Legend Fire. Very nice, very nice. Haha! Very nice. 3-round cylinder. Oh, yeah. Lovely. A Grey Wizard. Flywheel cage. And all the switches. And a bracelet in my colors. Fantastic. Another cylinder. Another cylinder. The other Legend Fire cylinder. I think that's my lot. Sweet! You can never have too many parts. Where did you find them? Oh, orange bricks, man. That still weirds me out. I know they've been around for probably a decade and a half, but they didn't have orange when I was a kid. Alright, good stuff. These are incredibly useful. I will have to assemble all the stuff to send back to you because that is definitely an equitable trade. Alright, now we have a couple of interesting ones. As near as I can tell, they are direct from Amazon, which means somebody is just buying stuff on Amazon and mailing to me, which is strange. Whoever you are, explain yourselves. I'm so probably something that's already been discussed and I should know and it shouldn't be a surprise, but here we are. Yeah. Alright, we have a gift for you. Guten Morgen, Capitan. Precision is useful at any range. Please accept these darts, though their colors may be strange. You wrote in prose? You, sir, are amazing. Whoever you are. Okay. We have a great big box of black and orange waffle tip e-kind darts. Oh, sweet. Buttery goodness. Waffle tip darts in my colors. And what's in here? Little Valentine darts. Oh, the Little Valentine purple AccuStrike darts. These were all over the last war, and I wondered where they came from. Sweet! I might actually be able to hit something now. You rhymed, sir. You rhymed. You are magnificent. Alright, what are these? Hello, Captain. I haven't seen this in your loadouts, but I think you may enjoy it. They have worked very well for me. Sweet! Buttery goodness! More mag holders. Oh, those are fancy. I didn't have these ones. The ones that I had were the ones that were printed by oh, now I'm Devil Z. Yeah. Devil Z from Germany. So I hadn't seen these. These are gorgeous and fabulous and probably more complicated than I'm giving credit. Why does one have finger loops and the other doesn't? I'm sure there's a reason. Anybody know? 5,000 of you will put it in the comments, and I will read it and feel silly. More package. Okay, another note. Captain, my captain. One is fun, but there's two for you. Sweet! Even more. Oh. Good Lord. I'm gonna... You know, I was actually recently mildly disappointed, if you will, with the magazine pouches that I put on my light rig, the single pouches. The magazines will fit, but they're really tight. These will work much better. This is awesome. I am stoked for the next war now, because I'm going to have some awesome stuff. Accurate darts, cool gizmos. You guys are amazing. You spoil me, and I'm not sure I deserve it. I will be doubling my efforts to try to get all the stuff that I have promised people done. I was out pretty much for the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, getting ready for an event last weekend, and then I have done the event, and now it's over, and I've pretty much recovered. So hopefully either this weekend or over the course of the next week, I will start getting stuff shipped that I need to get shipped, built that I need to get built. I'm working with a couple of people to build some really cool mods for you guys, because I know I haven't been producing any amazing stuff in a while, but I've got some stuff lined up that I think is going to blow your socks off. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for all the stuff, and as always, thank you for watching.